Cabin crew, that's a seat for takeoff, please.
We just arrived here in Heathrow Airport and we're about to get our baggage in the baggage claim, I guess. This is gonna be on record right now. We're just sick and tired for not having any type of solution.
You confirm the ticket by the time of purchase, but it's also your responsibility to inform me of any canceled flight. So because we're 2 hours. I'm calling. If I call back and they do this whole thing, because we have this recorded. 2 hours. I'm calling back.
Hi guys, Phil Travels here. We are currently now in Manila, thank God. Since we realized that we didn't able to make videos or blog about what happened to us in Heathrow, London airport, we were just in that moment was so stressed about our flights. So we weren't in focus to make a video. I think there is like 2 seconds, but that was it. Our itinerary is from Warsaw, Poland to Heathrow, London, and then from London to Singapore, and then from Singapore to Manila, which is our final destination. But when we get to London, that's when we only knew about that our connecting flights from from Singapore to Manila was canceled without even informing us.
When we arrived at the arrival gate for British Airlines, that's when they informed us that the flight was canceled in Singapore because from Singapore to Manila because of new COVID-19 restrictions in Singapore. And they told us our travel agent should have emailed us around October 21st because that's when the change happened. But we had not received an email. If we would have received an email, we would have not even took the flight from Warsaw, Poland to London. Now this is where the importance of booking through an airline or booking through a travel agent. It is very tempting to book through a travel agent because you do get lower prices. But if an inconvenience happens, if you're late, if there's a canceled flight, I mean, unless the travel agent finds a replacement for you, you have to go through a lot of hassle just to get another flight. But if you miss a flight or you're late or the flight canceled, the airline has to find a replacement for you, and they can find a replacement for you right then and there. Because when that happened, we thought British Airlines could help us, but they couldn't since we booked through a travel agent. We were at the airport all day, back and forth, talking through British Airlines and our travel agent. I must say it, Travelocity, you stink. And They kept on, Travelocity kept on saying, no, it's British Airlines in. British Airlines kept on saying, no, you purchase this ticket through a travel agent. You have to contact a travel agent for them to fix it. This was like this all day, for practically for 2 days. All right, it wasn't until about 8 hours at the airport, I would say about 9:30, 10 p.m., after that back and forth through the travel agent and British Airlines. British Airlines kind of seemed like they felt sorry for us, and they actually comped us a room for the night, which was really nice of them. But our situation still wasn't resolved. But since we had a 7-year-old had our 7-year-old daughter with us, we really needed her to get in the bed, get some good rest. So when we got to the hotel, we rested up, and we woke up around 6 a.m. and we arrived at the airport around 7 a.m. And it was pretty much the same exact thing. Situation not resolved, and just back and forth through the travel agent and British Airways. And I was getting very frustrated. And Vanjie, she was getting even more frustrated. She was getting very emotional. We didn't know what to do.
Yeah, after being there all day, I was like, there was this one time like my hands are just weak, and I was just literally just walking back and forth to the front of the counters of British Airways, and I saw these two guys that giving instruction to the other employees in the counters in British Airways. So I'm like, he might have a position in here or in the British Airways. So I was waiting in the corner just for me to have that timing so I can talk to him. So when I finally talked to him, I told him, sir, excuse me, I needed your 10 minutes. Like, we've been here in the airport since yesterday afternoon, since we arrived actually. So yeah, after we talked,
because of Angie's persistence, she found the two higher ups, and it wasn't for Camelo, the shift manager at the time. He ended up collecting all of our information from our starting flight to ending destination, and he got us a touchdown because he was able to resolve our issue. He ended up saying, "Don't worry, we will get you to Manila," which made us feel good. He ended up contacting one of the ticketers for British Airways, which was maybe about 20 feet away. His name was Neil. He was an awesome guy, friendly guy. He hooked us up with food vouchers, and they were able to get us another comped room for that night because they were able to find a replacement flight for us the next day. And that was from London to New York and New York to Manila. The importance of this was a lot of people aren't flying from Europe to the United States just to go back to the other side of the world, because it's not a very popular option. That's a lot of time on a plane. But with our desperation, we were going to take what we could get. Beggars can't be choosers, you know? And we were just very relieved because of Camelo and Neil resolving our issues. And we really wanted to thank British Airways for helping us in a matter that our travel agent did not help. We're going to finish this video off with the importance of the airlines and travel agents. We highly recommend, especially through our experience and what we just experienced, because of COVID-19 and how flights change all the time and how different countries have their own different restriction rules. We highly recommend booking a flight through the airline instead of a travel agent. because the airline can fix your issue right then and there. If you missed your flight, they can find another flight, maybe even 2 to 3 hours later. Unless you book through a travel agent, and we are stuck for maybe 2 days, and the travel agent still hasn't resolved our issue. It was the airline that actually helped us, which they didn't have to. They just did. Thank God they did. So we highly recommend now, because of COVID-19, book through an airline, especially when it comes to international flights. And if you're in the United States, if it's just state to state, no problem. Just, you can do a travel agent, Travelocity, whatever. It's boom, simple. But international flights, airline.